Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. So in this video we are going to understand how to create Google Calendar event from Telegram messages. So do you also wish to create a new event in your Google Calendar in minutes? Then this video is definitely for you. So over here our objective is that as soon as a new Telegram message is received, automatically with the help of same message a new event should be created in our Google Calendar. So to do this we are going to create a connection between Telegram and Google Calendar. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So if you also wish to learn this process step by step, then let me take you to my computer screen. Welcome to my screen. So as you know, in this video we are going to learn how to create Google Calendar event from Telegram messages. So to do this, I have already opened the landing page of Pabbly simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy. So as soon as we are going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you're a new user, you can click on sign up for free and you are going to get 100 of tasks free every month. But I'm an existing user, so I'm going to click on sign in right over here. And now it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm going to click on access now right over here. And now it is opening my dashboard. And to start with the automation, we are going to click on this button which is create workflow. And now it is asking me the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So I want to save the workflow in this folder which is automations, and I want to name my workflow as how to create Google Calendar event from Telegram messages, and then we are going to click on create. And now it is opening the most important window of our automation, that is our workflow window. This is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. By this you can understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and actions follow the commands. And as you know that we can have only a single commander but multiple followers. So over here we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger. So now I'm going to select my trigger application which is Telegram, because I want that as soon as a new Telegram message is received, automatically my workflow should be triggered. So I'm going to search for Telegram bot and then we are going to select it. And now for the trigger event, we are going to select it as set webhook/watch updates. So I'm going to select it and then we are going to click on connect. And as you can see that it is asking me to add a new connection or select the existing connection. So if you have already connected your Telegram bot account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and over here it is asking me for the token. So to get this token, I'm going to open my Telegram account, and over here you can see that this is my account. And now I'm going to search for bot father right over here to get the token. So I'm going to search for it, and as you can see the same, so I'm going to select it. And now after opening the bot father, I'm going to click on this start button right over here because I wish to create a new bot. And now for the message, I'm going to type it as /new bot. So I'm going to type it and then we are going to send it. And yes, you can see that it is saying alright, a new bot. How are we calling it? So I'm going to choose a name for my bot which is Google Calendar event. So I'm going to send it. And yes, it is saying good. Now let's choose a username for your bot. So I want the username to be Google Calendar events _bot. So I'm going to enter it. So over here you can see that I've entered the username and then I'm going to send this. And yes, you can see that we have successfully generated this API token and we have successfully created a new bot with the name Google Calendar Events and the username Google Calendar Events _bot. So you have to keep in mind that you have to always put _bot in the end of the username. Otherwise, you will not be able to create a new bot. So I'm going to copy this token right from here and then we are going to paste this token in our workflow so that we can create a connection between our Telegram account and our Pabbly's workflow. And after pasting this token, I'm going to click on save. And yes, you can see that we have successfully connected our Telegram bot account with our Pabbly's workflow. And now we are going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see that it is saying waiting for a response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission /record. So in order to capture this response, we have to do a test submission. And in order to do this test submission, I'm going to open my Telegram again. And over here you can see that this is the group I am creating. And over here you can see that I've added the bot we created right now, which is Google Calendar Events. Over here you can see the bot username Google Calendar Events _bot. So I've already added this bot in my group, and now I'm going to give this bot the admin access. So I'm going to give it with the help of my Telegram mobile application. And yes, you can see that I have given the bot the admin access, and now after doing all of this, we are going to do the test submission. So now we are going to enter the message we wish to send. So I want the message to be this: hello team, we have to attend a new event. Here are the details, the title, start date and time, end date and time. Looking forward to productive discussion. Regards. So I'm going to send this message, and yes, you can see that I have successfully sent this message. So now this means that this message has also been sent to our workflow. So I'm going to open my workflow and check that if Pabbly has captured the response of this message or not. So I'm going to open my workflow, and yes, you can see that Pabbly has captured the response of this message. Also over here you can see the message that we entered. So yes, with this our trigger step is successful, and now we are moving on to our action step. So for our action application, first we are going to select text formatter by Pabbly. It is a feature by Pabbly which helps you to format the text. For the action event, we are going to select it as text parser because I want to extract the text from my response. So to do this, over here you can see that I have received this text which is hello team, the message that we entered. So I wish to extract this title. Over here you can see know about automation. I wish to extract the start date and time and the end date and time. So to take this out from this whole message, we use text formatter by Pabbly and the action event as text parser. So I'm going to map the text right over here. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step, and as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Telegram bot as our trigger application. So I'm going to map the details from the response of my trigger application only, and as soon as we are going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new message received in my Telegram group. So I'm going to give you an example that if for the text, suppose I'm going to enter know about automation right over here manually, so it will not change with every new message received in my Telegram because this is a static information and I've entered it manually. But if I'm going to map it from the previous response, it will definitely change because my previous response will also change. So that's why we do mapping right over here. So I'm going to map this text, and yes, you can see that I have mapped it successfully, and now it is asking me for the text match after and text match before. So we have to enter the text match after. So over here you know that I have to extract this title which is know about automation. So for the text match after, I'm going to keep it as title. So I'm going to enter it manually because this should be a static information. And now for the text match before, I'm going to keep it as this start date and time. So as you can see right over here, the message was in different lines, and over here you can see after automation there's a new line. So to extract the message from the new line, we use this. In the help desk you can see it is saying for new line or enter use this. So we are going to copy this, we are going to paste this right over here, and then we are going to enter start over here. So I'm going to enter it, and now after entering the text match after and text match before, I'm going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see that we have got this know about automation as our result. So here you can see this is the only title we wish to extract. So yes, with this action step is successful. And now as we extracted the title, we have to extract the start date and time and end date and time too. So to do this, first I'm going to clone this step so that I don't have to repeat much steps again and again. So to clone this step, we are going to go on this 3 dots and then clone step. And yes, you can see that we have successfully cloned this step. So I'm going to open it, and now you can see that the text has already been selected. I just have to change the after and before right over here. So I'm going to erase the first one, and then we are going to change the after. So here you can see that now I have to extract this date and time. So I'm going to enter start date and time right over here. So as you can see that I've entered it, and then for the before, I'm going to keep it as end date and time. So I'm going to enter it, and yes, you can see that I've entered this too, and now I'm going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see that we have received the start date and time right over here. It's the same date and time we entered over here too. So yes, with this action step is also successful. So again, I'm going to clone this step so that we can extract the end date and time also. So I'm going to open the another step, and over here we are going to erase the before and after again. So I'm going to erase this, and now for the after, I'm going to keep it as end date and time, and then for the before, I'm going to keep it as new line and then looking. So I'm going to paste new line, and then we are going to enter looking. And now after doing all of this, again we are going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see over here is the end date and time which we extracted right now. So yes, with this we have successfully completed extracting the text from the message. So now we are going to add another action step because we wish to create a new event with the same details. So I'm going to search for Google Calendar over here as my action application. So I'm going to search for it, and as you can see the same, so I'm going to select it. And now for the action event, we are going to select it as create an event because I wish to create a new event as soon as a new message is received in my Telegram group. So now I'm going to click on connect, and as you can see, again it is asking me for the same. So if you have already connected your Google Calendar account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection and then sign in with Google. And now after selecting my account, Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. So I'm going to click on allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for because my data is secure with Pabbly. You can also click on allow, Pabbly is safe. And as soon as we are going to click on allow, you can see that we have successfully connected our Google Calendar account with our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is asking me to select a calendar. So I want to select the calendar as Pabbly right over here because as you can see that I have multiple calendars in my Google Calendar and I wish to create this automation for this particular calendar only. So that's why I selected the same right over here. And now it is asking me for the title. So you are going to map the title because I want it to be a dynamic information. So as you know that I've already extracted my title, which is know about automation. So I'm going to map it. And now it is asking me for the description and the location. So as you can see that these are not the required fields. So I'm going to leave it as blank. If you wish, you can definitely fill these out. And now it is asking me for the start date, time and end date time. So as you can see that I've already extracted the start date and time too. So I'm going to map it. But as you can see that in the help desk, it is saying enter your start date and time value here, example this. So here you can see that this is the value or the format Pabbly wants the date in. So we have to enter it over here in the same only. So here you can see that it is also saying you can get the date time value by using date time formatter. So we are going to use date time formatter by Pabbly to format our date in the desired format. So to do this, we are going to add another action step right over here. So now for our action application, we are going to select date time formatter by Pabbly. It is a feature by Pabbly which helps you to format the date and time. And now for the action event, we are going to select it as format date with time zone. And now we are going to click on connect. And again, it is asking me for the date. So I'm going to map the date. So here you can see that this is the date which we extracted. So I'm going to map it. And now it is asking me for the from format. So as you can see that I have the date in this format, which is this. So I'm going to select the from format. And now it is asking me for the to format. So I want the date in this format. So I'm going to select it. And now it is asking me for the time zone. So here I'm going to select from time zone as Asia, Kolkata. And then for the to time zone, I'm going to select it as UTC. So I'm going to enter over here UTC. And as you can see the same, so I'm going to select it. And now we are going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see that we have received the positive response. Over here, you can see the date which we wanted. So yes, with this action step is also successful. So I'll just clone this step so that we can do same for the end date and time too. So yes, you can see that I've cloned this step. I'm going to open the another step. And right now over here, I'm just going to erase this start date and time. And we are going to map the end date and time. And as you can see that I've mapped it. So we are going to keep the rest of the details same. And then we are going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see that now we have received the formatted end date and time too. So yes, now we are going back to our Google Calendar action event. And over here, you can see that we are going to map the start date and time and end date and time from the result of our date time formatter. So I'm going to map the results right over here for the start date and time. We are going to do same for the end date and time too. So after mapping both of this, we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the time zone. So over here, I am in India. So I'm going to keep the time zone as Asia, Kolkata. So I'm going to select it, and now we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the visibility. So I'm going to keep it as public only. And now it is asking me for some more details. So as you can see that these are not the required details. So I'm going to leave it as blank only. And now I'm going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see that we have received the positive response. This means that we have successfully created a new Google Calendar event. So I'm going to open my Google Calendar and check that if a new event has been created or not. And yes, you can see on 1st of July 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. a new event has been created which is know about automation. So with this, our workflow is successful, and I'll just test the workflow once, and this time I'm going to give you a real-time example. So to do this, I'm going to open my Telegram. So now again, I'm going to do a test submission. So for the message, I'm going to keep it as this. Over here, the details of the event are title, automation and AI. Start date and time is 3rd of July 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. So I'm going to send this message. And yes, you can see that we have successfully sent this message. So now this means that Telegram has sent the details of our message to our workflow. Pabbly captured the response, triggered the workflow, and further created a new Google Calendar event with the help of the same message. So I'm going to open my Google Calendar directly and check that if a new event has been created or not. And this time we are not going back to our workflow and clicking on save and send test request. I'll directly open my Google Calendar from here. And over here you can see on 3rd of July, 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. a new event has been created, which is automation and AI. So this is the same event we just entered in our message. So yes, our workflow is successful, and I'll just summarize the workflow for you once. For a trigger application, we selected Telegram bot. For the trigger event, we selected set webhook/watch updates. For the action application, we selected text formatter by Pabbly, and then for the action event, we selected text parser. Again, for the action application, we selected date time formatter by Pabbly, and then for the action event, we selected format date with time zone. Again, for the action application, I selected Google Calendar, and then for the action event, we selected creator event, because I wanted that as soon as a new Telegram message is received in my group, automatically the details should be extracted, like the title, start date and time. That date and time should be formatted in the desired format, and then a new Google Calendar event should be created. And yes, we were successful with our workflow. Over here you can see the two messages I sent during this video. One was about know about automation on 1st of July, 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. and the another one was automation and AI, 3rd of July, 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. And over here you can see the two events. On the 1st of July, know about automation, 12:30 to 2:30, and for the 3rd of July, automation and AI, 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. So if you have any questions related to the workflow or the video, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. Thank you for watching. Not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly, you can integrate many more applications. So now, if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.